You know, way out in the vast, sun-bleached expanse of Central Oregon, there's this place of incredible geological wonder, a place that's literally made of glass. But according to some, it's also a place that hides a secret of impossible science and clandestine operations. Today, we're diving headfirst into a declassified mystery set right in this remote desert of glass, a place where that line between geology and impossible technology, well, it starts to get real blurry.
So let's start with this quote from former Pentagon intelligence officer Luis Elizondo, because it's really what kicks this whole thing off. Now, he's not talking about some natural rock he found. He's describing a material that looks like it was manufactured at the atomic level. With a very specific mix of isotopes, you can think of them like different weights of the same element. A mix that seems to be deliberately engineered in a way that just defies how things form in nature. And that, right there, is the central enigma we're going to explore.
So where do you even begin to look for something that, by all accounts, just shouldn't exist? Well, the trail takes us away from the sterile labs of materials science and out into the dusty, wind-swept plains of the American West. To be specific, a landmark that just rises up out of the high desert, a place famous for its endless fields of natural glass.
Right. The place is called Glass Butts. And it's more than just the setting for our story. Honestly, in a lot of ways, it's a key character. This isn't just any old patch of land. It's a geological anomaly, and it's famous for one thing above all else.
And that one thing? It's obsidian. It's basically a form of natural vitrification, volcanic glass. It's made when lava cools down so fast that crystals just don't have time to form. It's sharp, it's beautiful, and it's the whole reason Glass Buttes even has its name. And trust me, understanding this natural glass is absolutely the key to understanding why that other material is so incredibly strange.
So, let's get our bearings here. Glass Butts is this massive volcanic complex, millions of years old, sitting pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It's a huge deal for geologists and collectors because, get this, it holds one of the planet's largest and most varied stashes of obsidian. You can find everything from pure black to mahogany, snowflake, and even the stunning rainbow stuff. It is quite literally a desert made of glass.
Okay, so think about this for a second. If you're a covert agency and you're looking for something anomalous, something maybe not of this Earth, where do you go? A secure military base? An underground lab? Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you'd go to the one place on the entire planet where a team of people looking for strange-looking glass would be completely and utterly ignored.
See, this place has always been buzzing with people. For millennia, Native Americans were here, quarrying obsidian for tools and for trade. Then, in the 20th century, it was mined for mercury. And today, it's a rockhound's paradise. I mean, every single day, you have people out there with hammers and buckets chipping away at the ground. It's the perfect cover. A team of specialists looking for some unusual material would just blend in. They look like just another group of hobbyists searching for treasure.
So that's the big question, right? How in the world would you tell one truly weird piece of glass from, well, millions of tons of the regular stuff that's just lying around? This is where the hard science comes in. We have to establish a baseline, a definitive scientific understanding of what actually belongs in the glass desert.
Well, the key is something called geochemical fingerprinting. And honestly, it's kind of like a DNA test, but for rocks. Every single volcanic flow has its own unique chemical signature, a specific recipe of trace elements. By analyzing a sample, scientists can trace it back to its exact origin with incredible precision. It's a foundational tool in geology, in archaeology. It's a huge deal.
And here's the kicker. Scientists have already done this at Glass Butts. I mean, they've really done the work. Research has confirmed that this incredibly complex area is made of 7, and only 7, distinct geochemical groups of obsidian. Each group, from A to G on this chart, has a known predictable composition. This isn't guesswork. This is a meticulously mapped out chemical landscape. And this chart, it shows you exactly what I'm talking about, visually. Each of these little clusters represents one of those 7 unique fingerprints. You can see just how tightly grouped and distinct they are. Any piece of natural obsidian from Glass Butts is going to fall into one of these 7 categories. So here's the crucial point. If you find a piece of glass out there that doesn't match one of these fingerprints, it came from somewhere else, period.
Okay, but what if it's not obsidian, right? Could it be some other kind of glass? Well, let's look at our options. You've got trinitite. That's the glass that was formed in a nuclear blast. It's chemically all over the place because it's basically vaporized Earth condensing from plasma. You've got tektites, formed from meteoroid impacts,
But this mystery material, it's described as something else entirely. Not the chaotic, messy mix of a high-energy event, but something with engineered isotopes arranged in a deliberate, organized structure that is fundamentally different from any known natural or man-made glass.
And that right there, that difference, that's where we leave straight-up geology behind and step into the world of intelligence. Because when you find a material with properties that are beyond your own tech, it stops being a rock and starts being a matter of national security.
It's a whole discipline called materials intelligence, and it's basically reverse engineering on a whole other level. You find a fragment of an enemy missile or a piece of some unknown tech, and you analyze it down to the atom to answer some really critical questions. Who made this? How did they make it? And what does it tell us about what they're capable of?
So, according to some pretty serious claims from intelligence whistleblowers, there's a specific group allegedly tasked with exactly this kind of work, the CIA's Office of Global Access, or OGA. Now, their day job is recovering things like downed satellites, but these sources claim they are also the U.S. government's go-to unit for retrieving alleged craft of non-human origin. And the goal is to get that material into private contractor hands as fast as possible, keeping it way off the official books.
And look, these aren't just vague rumors. The whistleblowers are putting a number on it. They allege a precise number, that at least 9 such craft have been recovered by the U.S. government, and that 2 of them are said to be completely intact. Now, if that's true, a claim like that just raises the stakes for any anomalous material found anywhere in the world, let alone in the glass desert.
All right, so this is where it all comes together. We've got these 2 powerful competing truths, and they're colliding head-on. On one side, you have the established, verifiable science of the location, and on the other, you have these incredible claims of an impossible material and a secret program to go get it. First, let's just ground ourselves in what we know is fact, hard science. The geology of glass buttes has been studied for decades. We know its geochemical signature. There are 7 types of glass that belong there. Anything else is an outsider. It's an anomaly that demands an explanation.
Now, put that solid fact up against this description of the alleged recovered material. Deliberate organization at the atomic level. Engineered isotopic ratios. Fractal properties. What he's describing is what scientists would call a metamaterial, a substance engineered to have properties you just don't find in nature. It sounds like something that was intelligently designed and manufactured with a technology we can't even replicate.
And that leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? You have a location with a perfectly defined geological baseline, and you have a material found there that not only fails the geochemical test, but also seems to have properties of advanced engineering. So if it's not from glass butts, and it's not from us, what are we left with? You know, the story of the glass desert is a perfect noir mystery. It's a place where the sun glints off millions of visible truths in the form of obsidian. But maybe the deepest secrets are the unnatural fragments that don't belong, the ones hidden in plain sight, just waiting for the right person to come along and ask the right questions. What you choose to believe, well, that's up to you.